Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Thanks for joining today. We're continuing on our pandemic projects, and we're continuing to thank our first responders, essential personnel, law enforcement, EMTs. The list keeps growing, but thank you to all of those who are trying to keep us safe during this pandemic and try to restore the health, if you're in the medical fields, of those who have contracted this deadly virus. Well, today I'm going to do a curiosity project here. This is the Tsunami. It's Tsunami Bracer, and the bracer was sold as part of a rod and reel combination set. I think you can still get them today. They're very inexpensive. I think the rod and the reel as a set goes for around $20 or less. I think it's one of these you would typically find in Walmart, kind of a thing. And this is a 3,000 size reel. And some of you watched the video that I had done on the Pen Pursuit that was missing the handle and came back in a distributor's lot. Well, this one came back in the distributor's lot as well. It's missing the handle and the side cap. So I thought maybe we would just be able to get away with that. And as I went to turn the rotor, well, the rotor is frozen. So I know Tsunami is trying to upgrade their product line. They're coming out with a lot of these sealed saltwater reels, and they're selling in the hundreds of dollars. This one is not one of those, but my curiosity always gets me, and from time to time, if I have a minute here or there, I like to take the reel apart, find out how it's made and why it failed. So I don't have any thoughts of this ever getting restored. I don't even believe that parts are available. It's one of those reels that just kind of winds up, it breaks, you throw it away, and you go get another one, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is, it's new to you and to me. I haven't even sought out on the website any kind of schematics or the like. I imagine they're available somewhere, but for the most part, if one of these fails in the warranty period, they're not fixing anything. They're sending you another replacement reel. And a lot of these are job lot reels, in that they make a certain number of them. They contract with a manufacturer, and when they get that number, they set aside a few for service and repair replacements, and they do just that. They do a swap out. Think about it. If the reel and the rod sell for $20, how many minutes of a repair tech's time does that equal in terms of having someone take it apart to try and find the issues there? Speaking of taking it apart, we're starting to take apart the exteriors. You noticed we have a little cap. We're going to do an exploratory on this, right? We don't expect that it's ever going to be repaired, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's in here from a drag washer standpoint. And that's held in by a four-sided clip. You can just pull that clip out. It rides in a little channel. I'm going to put that into my parts tray there. And we're going to remove the drag washers. And this has a lower end drag washer system. This reel's never been used. You can see right away that they're all clean. This is a felt drag washer. So the felt drag washers are kept oiled to maintain flexibility, but they're perfectly fine. But they are on the lower end of a drag washer in terms of pricing, and that's what you would expect on a lower entry reel. You wouldn't expect a Carbon Tex drag washers or anything like that. Again, these are small size reels too. This is a 3,000 size reel. The line that's going on there is probably 8 to 10 pounds maybe. So they're not expecting big fish either in this category. All right, we're just going to set that aside. I didn't even see anything in here that would indicate, maybe on the spool. Yeah, they're saying 10, 15, and 20 pounds, so that's interesting in that size reel. Okay, there's 3 screws. We took out one of them already. Let's go ahead and take the other 2 out. And as I'm looking at this, I think we're going to be able to get the side plate off without taking the rotor off. But the rotor, something in here is seized. This is the whole idea of an exploratory. You just want to find out why these things break. And some folks ask me from time to time, should I buy this reel or should I buy that reel? And I can only base it on experience. I can't, it's the fashion industry. I can't say, well, buy that one, it's pretty, or that one's not pretty, or whatever. That doesn't get it done, right? So I like to go inside and say, this reel It's made of this type of metal, and something broken here, right? All right, well, this is still seized up, and yet this looks okay. This is an older style of a rotor or a cross-wind arm. This style has been around forever. You can go back and look at some old Daiwa reels from 40 or 50 years ago. There's a pin that connects it to a cross-wind block. The cross-wind block goes up and down. There's an arm, kind of looks like the letter G or the number 9 or number 6. You want to take that arm off. Now let's see if we can get the main gear out. We can get the main gear out. And let's see. So this is all functioning. So there's something preventing the rotor from turning here. So let's go ahead and take the screw out here. That screw holds the axle shaft in. And we'll take that out. And then we'll see what the heck's going on underneath. There's something that was probably assembled incorrectly here. I don't think, as much as there's a lot of damage done in a retail setting, you have a lot of folks that think it's okay to take the handles off of fishing reels and do some other things. And that's usually what's coming back in that distributor's lot, is missing handles. Well, this one's being particularly difficult here. If you have trouble grabbing an axle shaft, put the button back on, the drag adjuster knob. That'll give you leverage to pull. There we go. And you can pull it out that way. And this is still stuck. So we're going to have to go grab a, it looks like a 10mm wrench here. Okay, this one tightens in the non-traditional sense. It's reverse threaded. So you want to turn it clockwise to remove that nut. Pull that off, and let's see what's going on now. Well, now we got it turning. So it appears that the anti-reverse was stuck. This looks to have an anti-reverse driven with a spring, and it appears that the spring is missing. So that's what's happened here. There should be an anti-reverse spring on this this little collar, and that would control it moving in and moving out. But that's not in the housing here. So I would say, based on this, from what I'm seeing, that whoever assembled this reel forgot to put the spring on. Easy enough. So, as I mentioned, sometimes I just like to see how these reels fail or why they fail, and to make a judgment based on that. So a lower end reel, it's clearly failed because the spring was not on the collar. To me, this reel has never been touched, so I can't say that anybody has done anything other than an oversight here. If you leave the anti-reverse off, this thing should spin. Well, as much as it's spinning, it's also not doing a very nice job here. So there's something else missing here. That shouldn't grind and shouldn't sit low here. So I'm thinking that there's something else missing in this reel as well. I would call that poor construction and design. The reel itself, from a metal standpoint, looks fine. These are lower end. We used to call it pot metal. I heard somebody else on one of my comments call it monkey metal or whatever. This is not high quality stuff, but if you're using it in an occasional use mode, you're going to be fine with it. These do not have any bearings or bushings on the side plate. They're simply holes that are part of the stamping process for these plastic frames. And that's about what you get for a Tsunami Bracer, part of a rod and reel combination that is sold on the lower end for about $20. So my curiosity is satisfied. We're not going any further with this. We're just going to take it apart and leave it apart and salvage some parts maybe, but this one's beyond repair. I'm sure the parts which would include the spring for the anti-reverse dog, and there's probably an additional collar on top of that that would raise this up. They're gone, and I believe the parts aren't even available for that. So there you go. So sometimes it's fun to just kind of figure out why a reel failed with no intention of ever putting it back together again. Buying that lot of those distributor returns gives me the opportunity to do that on some reels that I otherwise wouldn't buy and almost never would see come into my shop, because the service fee to fix a reel like this is more than the value of the reel. So that's what you get. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please like it. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If you have any questions on this reel or any reel in particular, please leave them in the comments section, and I'll be happy to try and reply to you if I do know the answers to those questions. Maybe you have a reel apart, maybe you have one that's jammed like this and you just can't make sense out of it. Well, I'll try to do my best to help you along. So this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Thank you for watching.